was just like more and more and more and more.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video here at Baldcafe. It's dark, it's cold, it's early, and maybe that's a bit of a metaphor for your balding journey. But listen, today we're hearing from Kareem. Kareem the Dream is sharing his story, his insights into how he accepted and moved on from his balding at the age of 23. He's got this picture here of him doing a deadlift, and I thought, you know what? Kareem really inspired me today to put something else into this video. I'm going to be attempting a max deadlift, something I haven't done for 6 years. So I'm excited. We're going to be seeing what I can work up to. But first, let's hear a bit more about Kareem's early days with the balding.
When I would sit down and study, like do this on my head a little bit, and I'd see tons of hair, just like single hairs just fall down into my textbook. And every time I did that, it was just like more and more and more and more. I still had like a decent amount of hair, and people weren't like pointing it out, hey bro, you're losing it. I kept it kind of long, so you couldn't really tell. But if I did shave my head, which I did multiple times in high school, you could be like, oh bro. I was just telling myself in my head, like, okay, I'll feel better about this when my hair grows back, and when I start hitting the gym, you know, when my life gets better, I'll feel better about this. So I grew it out again, as you can see in the pictures. It was too intense because I wasn't mature enough to handle that. And on top of that, since like a young age, thought of myself as a good looking guy. I wasn't like full of it, you know, just telling people, hey, I'm so hot, right?
But you were comfortable with how you looked.
I was comfortable, yeah, and I put my value in that, right? From that point, like high school, let's say like around 16, I didn't think about it much until after high school. When I started college, and as you can see in the progression of the pictures, like the hairline goes back further.
Guys, it really is a pleasure to be sharing another one of these stories, and thank you so much again to Kareem for coming on here and just sharing his experience, warming up here. And then I'm doing my prescribed sets, 122 kilograms for 8 sets of 4 repetitions. Now I'm only going to do 6 of those sets, and that's exactly what you can see here. I'm hoping to get a maximum of 160 kilogram. My all-time previous best is 200. That was about 6 years ago now. There is also another reason why I'm talking about getting uncomfortable with the deadlifts here. Let's hear a little bit more from Kareem. Let's hear about some of the strategies he was using to try and handle the hair loss.
I'd kind of push the hair here on the side to kind of like make that entry a little bit smaller, you know what I mean? You're really self-conscious about it. I was pretty scared because I thought like what girl is gonna be into me, you know, doing the normal college thing, chasing girls, whatever. I had some success with that, but
so that's good, despite the kind of hair worries and that, right?
Despite the hair worries, yeah. Kind of going through cycles of like hitting the gym and then not hitting the gym, gaining weight. All the while, the hairline goes further and further back. Yeah, it wasn't good for my confidence at all.
I fear most of us guys share when we're losing our hair. What is that going to mean for us in the world of dating? Kareem did still put himself out there, and he achieved some success with that, which, guys, is actually such an important part. You really do have to push past some of that discomfort and test out those negative predictions, prove them wrong. That is how you grow. And here we're going for the first 1 rep max. On the bar right now is 130 kilograms. Let's see if we can get that, and then we'll see how things progress with Kareem.
I tried minoxidil and finasteride. When I took that picture that I sent you of me like about to do a deadlift, I noticed that I'm losing hair in the crown as well. And I asked my friend that day, I was like, bro, am I losing hair here too? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, bro. It is bad. Like, this is getting worse. And also, like you said, with that slow progression, not really slow, but it was slow from like 16 to like about 20, 21. But once I hit like that age to now, it just really super fast.
Right.
It's like super fast. It was just gone. So yeah, I tried the finasteride, tried minoxidil for like this area here, and I realized that it was burning, kind of like burning,
irritating, right?
Yeah, like irritating my skin. And I messaged the online service that I got it from, and I asked like, hey, how long do I have to take this? And they said, you're not supposed to stop ever.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I'm paying $50 a month. It's not a ton of money, but I mean, $50 a month for the rest of my life is a lot of money. And also, I don't want to have to do that the rest of my life for a little hair. You kind of do a cost benefit analysis of it. I figured that going that route with it wasn't worth it.
Another 20 kilograms onto the bar. That's going to bring us up to 150 kilograms. So good for Kareem. You know, he tried some different treatments. He tried what he was comfortable with. And Kareem there talks about doing a cost benefit analysis. And I really suggest that for people who aren't sure what to do. With that sort of insight, you get a little step closer to being totally comfortable with it.
I thought about like the hair transplants. I have a Turkish friend. He has it in like in a different way, more of it here and like here, but he grows his hair out, so it's like very apparent.
Let's go to Turkey.
Go to Turkey. You come like he's a great guy, but
yeah,
I mean, he's like, you come to Turkey, like it's the best, bro. It's the best. I thought like, okay, like maybe might do it in the future. I started to think about it like, okay, if I got that done, I mean, what does that say about me as a person and how I feel about myself? I'm not judging anyone who's done it, because I can understand where it's coming from. But like I notice if you're watching like a comedy movie and a guy's like toupee falls off and everyone laughs at him, I thought like, why are people like laughing at this guy? Like, why is that funny? It's because you uncovered the fact that like, hey, this guy has this insecurity and he's using this toupee, or if I were to get a hair transplant, that doesn't look natural. It's not his hair. He's using this to cover up what he looks like because he's not secure in himself. I started to think like, if I did that, like internally, how would I feel about it? Like, I can't accept myself for the way I look. After thinking about it like that, I just thought, I don't think I'm gonna do anything about this other than accept it and buzz it down real short or just shave it. That's not easy either, because I'm thinking like, so the rest of my life, I'm gonna look like this. Like you said in another one of your videos, you looked better with hair. And I looked at my older photos and I'm like, yeah, if I had that same like hair
perfect hair,
if I had that same perfect hair, yeah, I'd look better than how I look now, in my opinion.
Interesting stuff from Kareem, and I've put another 5 kilograms on each side here, bringing our total up to 160 kilograms, which is what I was hoping to get. And Kareem there, sharing it again, you know, he had a lot of insight into this. He had a lot of thought, what do I really want to be thinking about myself going forward? And you know what, if you don't feel totally comfortable maybe taking some of those other options of concealing and things like that, then it's probably not for you. And again, I can completely relate with that. But as he said there, it doesn't mean that just, okay, I'll be a bald guy then, is necessarily easy. You still need to push yourself out of your comfort zone.
It's not something that I thought I'd be faced with at 23. It's kind of got parallels with like people who are aging and losing their looks, let's say. Like a very beautiful woman who's aging and trying to hold on to those looks and getting plastic surgery and doing all these things. I'm not trying to say anything negative about that.
No, but that's what happens.
You know, even some like bodybuilders, they get older and they're like, oh my God, I gotta hold on to all this muscle, and they end up dying in the process. At the end of the day, yeah, I did lose something that I would have liked to have kept. It taught me a lesson that I would have had to learn in the future anyway. It's like, I can't control that I'm 5'9". I'm not gonna get any taller, most likely. I'm 23. It would be a real waste of time and energy to just think, oh my God, I'm 5'9". Wow, oh my gosh, I gotta get taller. All girls like tall guys, right? It's like, well, that's not gonna happen no matter how hard I wish for it. So I try to take the same approach with my hair. One thing to kind of give advice to young men who are going through this, I just got used to it.
Do you think it grew on you in terms of like?
Yeah, it grew on me.
No pun intended.
It actually, it fell off on me, and then I got used to it. As I got older, it became less and less of a worry because I kind of became more mature. It just takes time to get used to. Focusing on the things that I can control to make myself look better, like going to the gym. I'm not like super buff, I'm not shredded, but doing those things that you can control to make yourself feel better about your body. You know, with time, especially with the dating too, it's like girls that I've known, they'll say, wow, you look great with a bald head. Or like another girl will say, yeah, you look great like that. Actually, you know what? You should actually shave it more. But that started to happen, and that does help. Ideally, it shouldn't be the main
criteria for feeling good about it.
Feeling good. Yeah. It's just like, I did kind of play the hat game because I started a little band with my brother and the drummer, and we just played open mics around Tampa where I live. Like whenever we did like a social media post for it, I was wearing a hat. When I played on stage, I was wearing a hat.
Right.
Because I had the like buzzed haircut like I do now. So even then, like let's say about 2 years ago, like I didn't want to leave the house without it. It kind of goes back to the point of you just kind of have to be exposed to it, and then you just get used to it, and then it's not even a thing I think about when I'm talking to someone. I'm not thinking, hey, I'm a bald guy talking to this person with hair. It's
No.
not. It's not that. I'm just going about life. I mean, not even really thinking about it.
It took time to get to that point, right?
Yeah, it took time, but also still, like sometimes I'll see, like I have a friend who's got a great head of hair. Sometimes I'll be like, man, that guy, like my friend, or you got a great head of hair, and then I'll catch myself in the mirror with my hairline going back here, and this
Comparing yourself, man.
Hey, comparing yourself, or even my facial hair, right? You have a great beard, by the way. Mine is not there at that point.
But you're 20.
Right? But I'm 23.
23, and I'm 30.
Right, yeah. Right. But it's that game, and it's like it applies beyond balding anyway. Yeah. It's just in life in general. Just
you bring up
other. Yeah.
You bring up a really good point there. Yeah.
This guy has better hair than me. This guy has better beard than I do. This guy drives a
nicer car. Yeah.
He's got a cuter girlfriend. He's got more money.
He's just bought a house.
Yeah. So like, and I suffered from that comparing game a lot. A main thing about this, and also applies to life, is just what can I control and what can I not control. I'd say there's 3 things that I've kind of figured out through this. The first one is that just like looking into myself and looking at those options, like the hair system, the minoxidil, all these different options that we have. What is that saying about me and about how I feel about myself? My answer to that was that I'm insecure about how I look. The second thing, if you do decide to go to this bald route, it does take time to get used to, but I would say just hold on. It's going to take some time, but in the meantime, work on the things that you can control. Kind of goes to the third point of like, what can you control and what can you not control? Eventually, down the road, it's going to keep popping up that you have to face this.
Good stuff.
So, thank you, man.
So here we are, guys. We're slapping on another 10 kgs to bring our total to 170 kilograms for the 1 rep max attempt. Keep your eyes peeled to see if I can get it. Exceeding my expectations. And you know what? I just want to really quickly pick up on a couple of key points that Kareem mentioned in sharing his story. The first one is this right here.
You just kind of have to be exposed to it, and then you just get used to it, and then it's not even a thing I think about.
Basically, guys, that says it all for me. You really do have to slowly creep outside of your comfort zone at a pace that you can handle, but at a pace that you make progress with, okay? And that is honestly the golden ticket to getting comfortable with all of this and completely changing your perspective. Some guys, they go straight in at the deep end and they go all guns blazing, shave off the hair, get out in public, and in one foul swoop, they kind of do it all, right? For some other guys, they still kind of have the hat game going on, or they have the different hairstyles going on, or they are strategic with who they see and where they go. And the more they push themselves into testing these kind of negative assumptions, or testing their assumptions about themselves, fearing, hey, I'm going to get rejected or whatever, I'm not up to it. When they keep putting themselves out there in front of people who they're interested in or whatever, right? And they get those small little wins, the narrative starts to change. And that is really, really important. So I'm glad that Kareem recognized that. And it's a pleasure to share you. It is a pleasure to share you, but it's more of a pleasure to elaborate on that concept with you guys, okay? So listen, a pretty successful little deadlift 1 rep max attempt. I hit 170 kgs and I've got a year to reach 250 kilograms, which is my new massive goal, exceeding my previous best by 50 kgs, which is a lot. It's a lot, guys. I'm going to need some serious work. And guess what? I'm going to need to be getting out of my comfort zone significantly to do that. See what I did there? Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching and listening. If you enjoy the channel, if you enjoy the content, give this video a like, and please, please, please check out the sponsor of the Baldcafe YouTube channel, Leaf Shave. Love those guys to the moon and back. You can check out their twig razor, which is my absolute razor of choice. Guys, I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in that next video. Goodbye.